Hello everybody, my name is Desmond Berlingeri. I am an independent filmmaker from Ontario, Canada, and I'd like to tell you a story about Mr. Machete, the greatest band you've never heard of. So in the early 90s, there were these three guys, Dent, Brent, and Chris Machete. Essentially, they started a band, and I think without them knowing, they started something much more than that.
Mr. Machete is fucking amazing. One of the reasons I started playing music, kept playing music, playing in bands today.
You know, they were a three-piece punk, metal, kick-ass thing, right? So
I like them. From day one, I liked them.
When you see the footage of Mr. Machete on stage, it's nothing short of incredible. It doesn't get any more real than the connection of the fans with the band, both just going all out, acting like animals. So after years of being a three-piece, Dave McClure joins the band on guitar. So there was a period of like 20 years where these guys were just having fun being kick-ass.
They were a hit because they were, they had the most professional sound. They had songs with good hooks, catchy pop punk at its best.
Legend has it in 1999, Mr. Machete turned in all of their empties to fund a music video.
Chris wanted me to be in the music video and come out. He was always like trying to get kids into music, which was awesome. It wasn't like, oh, they're kids, like whatever, doesn't matter. He wanted everyone to be involved.
It's bigger than every single little thing because it influenced people's lives. 15 years ago.
I had a unique opportunity to actually speak with the recording producer for Mr. Machete, and he had some really interesting things to say about the band.
first of all, Chris always put 3 songs in one. And the songs are only a minute and a half long. So you got 30 seconds of this, 30 seconds of that, and 30 seconds of... You don't get bored. I never got bored listening to Mr. Machete, because it's like in, boom, 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 and out. And it's like, that was great. Let's hear it again.
What it did for us, we got to grow up seeing this awesome punk band playing in front of us, and they had good music that was out and we could listen to and we could learn the songs. And it showed us that we could do it too, type of thing. Like, it is possible.
So why am I making this documentary, and why should you care? Well, if you were in my shoes, watching Mr. Machete for the first time, and seeing this fan base just, gloat about all of these experiences that they've had throughout like 20-some years, and, how legendary and iconic Mr. Machete was to them, it makes you question some things. For one, if these guys were so legendary, how come they're not big and famous by now?
And everybody would say the same thing. I don't understand why these guys aren't signed to a major label. And, like, nobody could figure it out why the major labels didn't want to touch them for some reason. But Mr. Machete had something magical.
Shut it down. Turn off the amplifiers and shut down the distro.
So as of right now, I have exclusive access to over 100 hours of Mr. Machete archival on and off stage footage. I have 3 albums of Mr. Machete unreleased music, and judging by the experiences and stories from fans and other band members, we can create a killer rockumentary out of this.
You know how lucky we are to grow up with people making music around us?
When a local band does well and you're following it, it's like you're a part of it.
If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be out here doing this.
Yeah, I got to meet them. It was like meeting, I don't know, heroes. People who could actually play music, who could learn something from.
There's kids that grew up in all those small towns and all the suburbs that didn't have any of that. And I feel like this documentary could show those people what it's like to have that sort of influence.